Hello everyone. In today's lecture, you will study about the second iterative method for solving this system of linear equation that falls in the category of the open bracketing method. This is very famous and a well-known method, and this is basically the Newton-Raphson method, and it is also called Newton's iterative method, and sometimes it's also called the method of tangents because it is actually determined, or it actually gives the solution of the equation by drawing the tangent with the initial guess we choose on the curve of the actual function. So we will first see there are two approaches for applying the open bracketing method, that is this Newton-Raphson method. We will see there are two ways for determining the formula of the Newton-Raphson method. One of the properties of the open bracketing method is that they converge very fast. If we start with the right initial guess, they gives us the approximated value of the root within 2 or 3 iterations. So open bracketing methods are faster as compared to the bracketing methods, that are the bisection method and the false position method. So let's see, if x naught be an approximated value of the root of the equation of f of x is equal to 0, then let x naught plus h be the exact value or the better approximation of the corresponding root, where h being very small quantity. Then f of x naught plus h is equal to 0. Let's just expand this function around the point x naught using the Taylor series expansion formula, which says that f of x naught plus h is equal to f of x naught plus h f bar of x naught plus a square over 2 factorial f double bar of x naught plus up to so on. You can keep applying this formula for the nth terms. Since we have assumed here h is very small, so when we will take the square of this h, it will give us very smaller quantity. So let's just ignore the higher derivative terms, and you will be left with f of x naught plus h is equal to f of x naught plus h f bar of x naught, because the rest of the terms have been neglected over here. All right. Since we have started with the assumption that x naught plus h is the next value of the argument of the function, so we can say that x1 is equal to x naught plus h, and in this expression we are interested in that value of x1 where the function should cut the x-axis, and whenever the function cuts the x-axis, its value becomes equal to 0. So that's why at the point f of x naught plus h, which is equal to y1 basically, or f of x1, and this should be equal to 0 at this point of the function. When you will substitute 0 on the left hand side, you will get 0 is equal to f of x naught plus h f bar of x naught, and if you find the value of h from here, so h comes out to be h is equal to minus f of x naught divided by f bar of x naught. Okay, so let's just substitute the value of h in this expression. You will get x1 is equal to x naught minus f of x naught divided by f bar of x naught, given that f bar of x naught is not equal to 0, otherwise it will become undefined. Proceeding in the same way, you can generalize this formula. X2 will be equal to x1 minus f of x1 over f bar of x1, or generally for x of n plus 1 it is equal to x of n minus f of xn divided by f bar of xn. Given that f bar of x of n is not equal to 0. So this is the general form of the Newton-Raphson method. Starting with the initial guess x of n, you will have to evaluate the function at that point, and you will have to calculate the derivative of the function as well at that point. And the condition of this method for the convergence is that its derivative at that point shouldn't be equal to 0. Otherwise, we cannot get the approximated value of the root of the equation. So that was the first approach for deriving the formula of the Newton-Raphson method. Now let's see the geometrical interpretation of the Newton-Raphson method. How does it work, or how we can derive the formula for it? So let's say this is our original function f of x, all right, and starting this is the root of the equation where this function is actually cutting the x-axis. So starting with the initial guess, let me just draw it over here. Let's say this is my initial guess x0, and then at that point I have to draw the tangent on the curve, where this tangent will cut the x-axis will be the first approximation to our root of the equation. Okay, then how this method will proceed? Again, at this point on the curve, we will again draw a tangent line, and you can see clearly, this is very important thing to note. You can see in this second iteration you have moved very closer to the root of the equation, and while with the third iteration you can clearly see we will be approaching to the root of the equation. So you can see again I will draw the tangent at this point of the curve, and it will cut the x-axis very closer to the root of the equation. So Newton-Raphson method works very fast if we make the correct initial guess and if the derivative doesn't become equal to 0. So let's just derive the formula using the geometrical interpretation. We know that the slope of the function at any point is calculated as m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So if we are having the initial point, or if we are starting with the initial point x0 comma f of x0, then the slope of this function, which is actually indicated as the derivative of the function at the starting point x0, so f bar of x0 is actually equal to y minus y1, which is equal to f of x0 divided by x minus x1, which is equal to x0. All right, since we are interested, let me just simplify. X minus x0 into f bar of x0 is equal to y minus f of x0. Since we are looking for that value of x at which our function y should be equal to 0, so that's why we will substitute y is equal to 0 in this expression, and we will be left with 0 minus f of x0. Let's just more simplify this expression. So I will have x minus x0 on the left hand side, while on the right hand side I will have minus f of x0 divided by f bar of x0, and x is equal to x0 minus f of x0 divided by f bar of x0. So you can see clearly this is actually our x1, or the first approximated value of the root of the original equation. So a same formula has been developed or generated, and we can generalize it in the same way. X of n plus 1 is equal to x of n minus f of x of n divided by f bar of x of n. One of the applications of the Newton-Raphson method is that it helps us to find the under root of any number. So let's say if I am interested in finding the under root 12 is equal to what according to the Newton-Raphson method, then I can first of all develop the formula for it, and then we can start with some initial guess and find the exact value of any number's square root. Okay, so the procedure is, let's suppose that we have to find an iterative formula to find under root n, where n is a positive integer, and hence we will find the value of under root 12 in this example. So let's assume that x is equal to under root n. If you take square on both sides, you will get x square is equal to n, and then just simplify the expression x square minus n is equal to 0 if you take n on the left hand side. Let's just call it f of x is equal to 0, which is equal to x square minus, and we have developed this formula. Now let's just find the derivative of this function. This will be equal to 2x. Now according to the Newton-Raphson method, x of n plus 1 is actually equal to x of n minus f of x of n divided by f bar of x of n. Okay, so x of n plus 1 is equal to x of n. What is x of n? X of n is actually equal to under root n, but I will just substitute it later on, minus f of x of n, this is equal to x square minus n divided by the derivative of the function, which will be equal to 2x of n, and I am just making this subscript everywhere. So if you substitute the values of x of n in this expression, you will get x of n is equal to, okay, we don't need to even substitute the value of this expression over here, but in place of n, so in place of n I will just substitute the constant number that is equal to 12. This formula has been developed for solving the square root of any integer, and starting with this certain initial guess, we can approximate the root of the equation. So let's just start with the any initial guess, and using the calculator we can see what is the value of the under root n. So under root 12 we know that is equal to, this is equal to 3.46. okay, under root 12 is equal to 3.4641, and if we are interested to the limited number of the decimal places, we will limitize it to 3 decimal places so that we don't have to perform the iterations multiple times. So let's start with the initial guess 3. So let's say x naught is equal to 3. So x1 will be equal to 3 minus 3 whole square is equal to 9 minus 12 divided by 6. So let's just simplify this expression. 9 minus 12 divided by 6, 3 minus this. This comes out to be 3.5. So see, we started only with 3 and we have moved very close to the actual solution of the equation. Similarly, x2 will be equal to 3.5 minus 3.5 whole square minus 12 divided by 3.5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 7 actually. So let's just simplify this expression. So you will get the value comes out to be 3.464. That is actually correct to the 3 decimal places within the second iteration. So in this way you can find the iterative formula for determining the square root of any number. You can perform the multiple iterations until you get the desired result. Thank you for watching.